Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. Let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales, a Nassau Community College Foundation production on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Aurora Workman. I am the president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Dr. Linda Nadian, a proud graduate of NCC, and together we'll share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you.
Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to alumni of Nassau Community College interested in sharing their experience here at Nassau Community College, along with the secrets to their success.
But before we do anything else, we want to say congratulations to Nassau Community College alum Michael Edward Minko. We are so proud of Michael on his acceptance to the NYPD Academy. We also want to shout out Kiba Cairo, class of 2001, author of an award-nominated children's book titled Don't Snooze on Clues, and founder of DSOC, the organization that provides anti-bullying and internet safety programs to elementary and middle school students while providing educators and parents with necessary tools to advocate. So we look forward to hearing more from Kiba Cairo and having her here on Lion Tales.
If you, our listening audience, has any positive news you would like to share about Nassau Community College alumni, engagements, births, graduations, weddings, and or accolades, email us at alumni@ncc.edu and we will shout you out.
Hey, Linda, how was your week? What's going on with you?
So far, it's been pretty good, just going quickly and exciting to be back.
Yeah, so we needed a break. So anyway, as we progress and we're hearing from so many Nassau Community College alumni and we're meeting so many people throughout, we want to first take time out to introduce you to today's guest. Today's guest is Uriah Williams. Uriah attended in the fall 2015 through 2016 Nassau Community College before transferring to SUNY New Paltz. He is an entrepreneur with his own clothing line, Uncrowned Royalty, a lifestyle clothing company, and Uncrowned Photography, which is a branch dedicated to his photography, and two, he is a proud associate member of the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College. Welcome to Lion Tales, Uriah.
Thank you.
So, you are here, you're a young person, you have this great clothing line. So first, let's get to it. How did you arrive at the name Uncrowned Royalty?
Well, I thought of Uncrowned Royalty in my 10th grade of high school, but at the time I didn't have the money for it, so I got a job at Nassau. When I graduated high school in 2015, I worked in the gym, and then I basically got all the money together and decided to do it. Uncrowned Royalty is basically it's a self-love company, so I want people to know, just because you aren't the person that's just constantly on TV, constantly getting, worship and, and homage from just everyday people, doesn't mean you aren't working hard.
Yeah, how did you first become interested in fashion design?
It isn't really about the clothing to me. It's more about the message. So when I talk to people, I'm not selling clothing. I'm just selling them a mindset. Mm-hmm. And I want them to take on this mindset and incorporate it into their everyday life.
Great. So when I sit there and I see your beautiful shirts, by the way, with Uncrowned Royalty, who at the time when you were deciding, because Uriah is a young man, who were your target audience? What were you thinking about your audience in that message? What was that message?
Well, I believe my audience could be honestly anyone. It could be a wide range of people. Majority of my stuff, it's considered in the streetwear category, so that's from people from 16 to 25, but I believe even adults could wear my clothing.
Well, I like it. I think I'll look good in that kind of shirt, don't you?
I think so too, yeah. I think the message is very positive, and people are interested in having something relevant and exciting on their actual clothing. When their logo was really interesting too.
Yeah, so how did you feel when you first saw your design passing by you being worn by someone who was not your family member?
It's an amazing feeling. I constantly have people that send me messages, or they'll call me and they'll just tell me how much warmth they feel from just wearing my clothes and the things that they associate with them. It's a really good feeling.
So when you did your first design and your first logo, what were you thinking, like, in terms of the styles of clothing? Because this right here we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have a shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, and it's great. The color is brilliant. It's just simple color. Uncrowned Royalty is on the front. So what were you hoping that people would feel when they put on your clothing?
Well, my first release was 2 years ago. So these shirts right here are from a year ago, from my winter collection. That is called the two sides long sleeve. So it basically means there's two sides to every situation, and you need to see the more positive side of the situation. So that's why it says it on the sleeve. So when people wear my stuff, I just really want them to get that feeling of positivity, good vibes, or just a positive mindset to just go through life.
And where do you envision some of your clothing being displayed or sold? How might you envision a display looking in the store?
I plan on having my own store. I don't really want my stuff in anyone else's store. I would like to have a store in the city, or maybe even malls.
So will it be called Uncrowned Royalty?
Yep.
Will we get discounts?
Of course.
Yeah. 10% off for all alum.
Well, this is brilliant because you're starting out young. Are there any designers or anyone that you saw their things and said, I want to do something like him, if not the same thing?
I see other people's clothing, and I feel like what inspires people to make clothes is because they don't see things in the world that reflects how they feel as a person. So I wouldn't say that I've really gotten my ideas from anywhere. It was just all like my life experience, and I just put that in the clothing.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, taking your experiences from here, and we'll talk about those experiences, but knowing that you had the mindset to really sit there and see that these clothing is not just for, a certain person, but I like where you said it's a mindset, it's a lifestyle. And one of the things that Uriah calls his clothes is a lifestyle clothing company. So a company that will allow people to understand that they are greater than who they think they are, and they can be greater than who they think they are. So we're going to come back soon, and we're going to talk more with Uriah.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes, another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger, 2 if you're very overweight, and 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse, because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
You are listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Aurora Workman, along with Dr. Linda Nadian, and our guest today is Uriah Williams, a very proud associate member of the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College. So, Uriah, you do so many things with your shirts and your company, Uncrowned Royalty. Let's talk a little bit about your photography. What type of photography do you do, and what inspires you?
I began doing photography for my brand. So later on, I decided since I have a camera, I might as well shoot other things as well. So I started shooting like outdoor scenes, friends, family, and just whatever I could take a picture of, people let me. So I usually just bring my camera everywhere, and I'll just take pictures of what I can.
Are you using real digital equipment, or are you using your phone?
Yes, I have a Canon T5i. It's a DSLR camera.
And how do you find that in terms of using an actual camera instead of everybody's using their smartphone, obviously?
It's a different type of equipment. It takes more to know how to use it. Like, anybody can't just pick up the camera and just think you're just going to go out and shoot. You have to have an eye. You have to be able to use the functions on the camera. You have to be able to decipher, like, when you should change certain things on the camera to make the pictures better. There's a lot of things that go into it that people wouldn't really think about.
How did you get that eye?
I would say that I got my eye just from going around and talking to other artists, looking at other people's pictures. I have many friends and family that do photography as well, so they inspired me to just do better things with my work.
If you had to master one clothing design or photography, which would it be? Which one do you want to go all out in?
It would have to be the clothing, because I consider my clothing to be a movement and it's a lifestyle, and I really want it to carry over for the rest of my life because I believe it can really, really go far.
And who at Nassau Community College influenced your career direction?
I would say that Tim Woods and, excuse me if I say this wrong, Shiny Bruno. She's an African-American professor, and they helped me.
Bruno.
Yeah, they helped
Dr.
me.
Bruno.
They helped me very much in the classroom. They taught me many things that I utilize in my everyday, and it really helps me at my four-year institution.
And are you studying photography at New Paltz at this point?
No, I do English at New Paltz. I'm going for my PhD in English.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Interesting. Great.
So what are some of the things that you remember in Tim Wood's class that really stuck out or just had you saying, maybe I'm going to go this way?
He didn't take the traditional route for English classes. It wasn't just old folk tales and poetry that you can't understand. He would relate it to everyday topics, and he would be able to quote recent artists and then compare it to past authors in order for the students to really get a grasp of what he's talking about.
And Dr. Shani Bruno, what did you take from her class?
She helped me a lot with my spoken word, because I guess you can call me somewhat of an activist with my spoken word. So I took majority of her African American studies classes, and then she gave me knowledge that I utilized in many of my other like aspects and like work fields. And that was actually, in her class, was the first time I've ever done spoken word in front of people, and that helped me go forward into doing performances and performing at other colleges.
And then did you use that to inspire your own vision of writing spoken word?
Yes.
And interpreting?
Yeah, because after she had made like an assignment, and it was after the assignment, I did a spoken word piece in front of my class, and then I was told that it was so good that I should try to perform. So a couple weeks later, I went to perform in the city, and then I came in 5th place for my first time out of like 35 people.
And then you probably would never have known it if you had not taken the class, right?
No, I would not.
Wow, that's great.
What advice would you give to yourself looking back when you first came on this campus? What would you have told yourself to do that first freshman semester?
I would have told myself to have a more positive outlook of everything, because I feel like when you go into spaces that are different from many of your peer spaces, you might look at it negatively, but you don't know what experiences might happen while you're there. Because I had a lot of amazing moments here, and they really helped develop me into the person that I am today.
That's interesting. And so now you are a young man of many talents, and we talked about your career as a spoken word poet. And how do you feel that might continue now that you have experience doing it and that you're becoming more fluent in doing that?
I just see myself doing more performances at more schools. I would like to go to every school in New York and perform at every school in front of just large amounts of people. I'd like the numbers to constantly increase every performance, and so far they have been.
And have you been networking with people in your own age group that are also performing some of their art in terms of poetry?
Yes, I do. So at a lot of the events that I go to, it's a lot of networking. I have business cards that I give out, and then I talk about my brand, I talk about the life